Welcome everyone. This video is on building an ITX 1080p video editing and gaming shoebox PC, which is very portable and powerful as well. This video is not sponsored by any brand and I have paid for all the parts. Processor, my choice was Ryzen 2700, which has a base clock of 3.4 GHz and boost clock of 4.1 GHz and 65 Watt TDP. This comes with 8 cores and 16 threads, which is minimum requirement for 4K video editing. CPU cooler, as it is an ITX case with ATX power supply, the stock cooler cannot fit in. I recommend Noctua NHL-9A low-profile CPU cooler for AM4 sockets, which can handle TDP up to 105 Watt, so it can cool any Ryzen AM4 processors up to 105 Watt TDP that includes Ryzen 3950X at base clock. This cooler is just 37 mm tall. This Noctua cooler is also very quiet and comes with a 5-year warranty. Moreover, this is future-proof if in case you want to upgrade your processor. Now this cooler is available in black color as well. Graphics card, I went for the EVGA GTX 1060 3GB version, as I'm more of a video editor than a gamer. More CPU cores are important than the graphics cores. Honestly, it does its job best on timelines on video editing software. This card is sufficient to play most game titles in 2020. I have another video exclusively on this graphics card that is linked in the description below. RAM, I chose Ballistix Sport 3000 MHz RGB 28GB sticks, 16GB. I was looking for some RGB RAM and this was the best deal. Motherboard, the cheap and best ITX motherboard was the Fatality ASRock B450 comes with Wi-Fi and Bluetooth built in. This board has RGB lighting controller built in. It also has HDMI 2.0, Ultra M2 slot, 4 NVMe drives, 4 USB 3.1 Gen 1, 2 USB 3.1 Gen 2, rear Type A and C. Storage, for storage I got 120 GB Kingston for boot drive for the Windows operating system which can boot faster and Toshiba 1 TB for storage drive for my videos and games installations. PC cooling, this case does not come with a case fan, so I went for static pressure fan from Noctua NFP12 Redux 120 mm that has 1700 RPM and runs very quiet even at 1500 RPM, which is abundance for this price. PSU, to be more future-proof I chose 500 watts RGB from Thermaltake. It comes with a dedicated switch on it for the RGB solid colors and style. ITX case, the most important one for this build. After lot of analysis on size, price, and upgrade options I chose to go with the Silverstone SG13 ITX case. This can accommodate GPUs with 265 mm of length, so an RTX 2070 Super can be accommodated. This ITX box can also fit a full-size ATX PSU unit or a SFX unit as well. Assembling the PC. I don't want to do a tutorial on building a PC as there are more videos on it on YouTube. But I can show you how it looks after building and how it performs with some benchmarks. Challenges in any ITX build. Heat, space, and power. One or two of these will be compromised in any ITX build. This is where the Silverstone manages in proper proportions and proves to be future-proof for most upgrades. Challenge 1, Heat. As I have planned for video editing and games, I need to have a better plan to push the heat out of this ITX box, so I installed the power supply with fan facing downward, like fan facing the CPU and motherboard so it can exhaust all the heat out of this shoebox. This orientation exhausts most of the heat generated than the PSU fan upward orientation. The temperature drops by 20 degrees with fan facing downward as it has very little airflow in the ITX form. For CPU I have replaced the stock cooler with Noctua NHL-9A AM4, low profile cooler, for more airflow space. Lesser fan noise and more cooling than the stock cooler. I have also got the Noctua Redux 120mm static pressure fan that pushes air into the case from the front side, and the PSU exhausts the hot air from the back. Challenge 2, Space. This case can accommodate graphics cards up to 265mm and has space for 3 to 2.5 disk drives, which is plentiful for any ITX builds. Moreover, the motherboard already has a M.2 slot for NVMe drive. You can also mount a 120mm AIO water cooler in the front. A full-size ATX PSU can be mounted. All these in a shoebox size is the real ITX powerhouse. Challenge 3, Power. To edit 4K videos and 2020 games we need more power. Not all power comes in ITX form factor. We can use a full-size NVIDIA Founders Edition cards and can upgrade to Ryzen 3950X to run in base clock speed with the above configuration. Saying that we have 16 cores and 32 threads and have handled the heat already with Noctua solutions, we are all set for next 2 to 3 years. Performance. I was able to overclock the CPU to 4 GHz in this case, but the temperature went 105 degrees centigrade, so I limited by overclocking to 3.9 GHz and the CPU was around 80 degree mark. I will soon be upgrading with the AIO cooler for overclocking further. Video editing performance, I was able to edit 1080p footage with very smooth timelines. Gaming performance, I was able to play most of the games like Shadow of the Tomb Raider, Gears 5, Battlefield 5, Witcher 3 and Call of Duty World War II all in 50 to 60 FPS in high settings. Thanks for watching, and I have mentioned the parts list below.